part of this with us. First, I have Major General Baldwin. I'd like to read a little bit about General Baldwin, just so you guys have a little bit of an idea. Okay? Chaplain Major General Baldwin was the Air Force Chief of Chaplains, Headquarters U.S. Air Force, Washington, D.C., from 2004 to 2008. In 1969, he graduated with the U.S. Air Force Academy. Chaplain Baldwin flew the EC-121 and then later HH-53. As a rescue helicopter pilot in January 1977, he earned a Master in Divinity degree from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky. He served 30 years in the Air Force as an Air Force chaplain, and he was in the Pentagon on 9/11. He made 8 trips to Iraq as the Chief of Chaplains. He's been married with his wife Ann for 42 years. He has 3 married children and 9 grandchildren. The next person I'd like to introduce is Mr. Dennis Butts. Mr. Butts has more than 35 years of experience in voice data communications, finance, sales, and marketing, business development, and strategic alliance relations. He has been instrumental with the development for more than 50 successful business ventures for clients, and he has been involved in 3 IPO and numerous PPM offerings. In 2010, he developed several interactive networks to take advantage of the explosion in the social media networks. He developed Military Com Networks, Inc., Face-Based Networks, Interactive College Networks, and the College of Sports. Mr. Butts is currently developing interactive medical networks and interactive sports networks. All the networks utilize the same Nethesis video to video platform. Mr. Butts is highly decorated Marine Corps veteran serving in Vietnam with his 1st Battalion, 9th Marines, the Walking Dead, and the 3rd Battalion, 9th Marines as a forward observer, where he has received 3 Purple Heart medals, Presidential Union Citation for Valor, and Vietnam Cross of Gallantry. He is involved in many veteran affair activities to support both the Vietnam veterans as well as current troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. 2 books have been written regarding his experiences in Vietnam, Still the Monkey and Beyond the Wall, Journey Home. Thank you. Another person I have here is Mr. William Pergioni. He is a former Marine himself, personally funded over $1 billion in mortgage loans over his 17-year experience. He is currently managing principal of the mortgage division for the Federal Credit Union here in Jacksonville. On that note, Mr. Pergioni.
Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak with you guys today. I did bring up a PowerPoint presentation. Came down to Jacksonville to open a credit union. My 8-year-old daughter was explaining to him the pride of what a Marine has. My 8-year-old daughter saw a homeless gentleman here in Jacksonville and said, "Is he a Marine?" Turns out he was. So my direction went from business finance to a nonprofit helping veterans. So I got in contact with a few department heads all over the country, and we put together an idea that we've actually set the concrete foundation for. We want to come to Jacksonville, being stationed here. I feel home here, and do this pilot program here in Jacksonville. This is the first of 5 facilities that we're planning and developing right now all over the United States, with funding from publicly traded companies and private investors. It gives us the ability to do things that haven't been done because we don't really have to apply for the grants. We don't have to go through all the red tape. We can do things a little bit quicker than other companies have. I did bring a recent war veteran, and he received a Purple Heart. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Eric Burge, who walked into my office and said, "I'm a disabled vet, I can't find work." So Eric, can you come up here for a few minutes, please?
here and do this, and I won't lie, I'd rather disarm IEDs than I had to stand in front of a crowd of people and speak. But work with me and I'll do the best I can. Now, I moved over here to North Carolina a few months ago, and it was just on Women of Prayer I moved over here. I moved here to be close to my children. I have two. And let me tell you, my friends, my little boy is 8 years old. He has one piece of my heart. My little girl is 6. She has the other piece. Now, let me stop for a minute and explain a few things. Me personally, I don't believe in luck or chance. I believe in the good Lord above. I believe in the skills and talents He has bestowed upon me in this world. There are reasons that I can't fully understand for everything that has happened to me in this world, for the things I've seen, for the things I've done, and the situations I've lived through. I've known for a long time I was meant to help in this world. I just really didn't know how or why. Now, I'll explain a little bit about that. Let me carry on. I'm a small country boy with the biggest heart of anyone you ever meet in this world. I come from a small dot town in Kentucky. I was raised on a farm. We grew corn, beans, turnip greens, all the way to 80 acres of backward. Now, so I do know a little bit about blood, sweat, and tears on that one. I worked on this farm until I was 18. And one day I was riding an old horse down a dirt road, and I realized at that moment that I wanted something more. I felt unfulfilled inside. The next thing I knew, I was standing in front of an Air Force recruiter's office. General, I see you smile a little bit, but the Air Force was not meant to be for me. A Navy recruiter saw me looking a little lost outside. He wanted me to just come in and talk to him for a minute. But the rest is history there. I joined the world's finest Navy, and I chose probably one of the craziest jobs in there. I was EOD, bomb disposal. After boot camp and A school, my first duty station was El Centro, California, a sailor station in the desert. That makes a lot of sense. I was there for about a year when Iraqi freedom went down, and I went over. I spent 6 months making things go boom and helping my fellow countrymen out in that way. Next was on to Atsugi, Japan, on board the finest ship in the fleet, the USS Kitty Hawk. For those that don't know, the Kitty Hawk is the last conventional ship we had. A lot of diesel-flavored water and a lot of cold showers. Now, then it was off to enduring freedom. After 4 months, being flown back and forth, pulling ops, while on a mission, we had an unknown IED go off about 100 yards from us. I took some shrapnel to my left side and my left ankle. Now, my two best friends were not so blessed. My boy Brewster was dead before he hit the ground, and so was Luckins. Now, I told you before, there is no luck, there is no chance in this world. So there are many reasons why I'm standing here today. It took me a long time to turn and face the demons that day brought upon me. I took a long ride on that long black train called Hell's Express. When I decided it was time to get off, I was standing right in front of Veterans Benefits over here on Western Boulevard. I walked into Mr. Verjoni's office looking for a job. Not with him, I was a vet trying to find a job. Mr. Verjoni took one look at my resume, and he was shocked and amazed. First, see everyone he was needing a person with a certain set of skills and the right kind of heart. He needed a person to lead the development of the biodiesel division. Now, I am a country boy with a pretty high level of intelligence. I've worked on diesels my whole life on the farm, as well as working with many different kind of chemicals. Second, he also needed someone to lead up the development of the wood shop for the homeless vets, so they can work in, and help support themselves. Now, as Will was reading on my resume, bam, I am a master carpenter. I worked as an apprentice for a master carpenter for several years after I was disabled. Third, if that wasn't enough to convince you of faith and the Devine House, Mr. Verjoni is going to start a program to show the homeless vets on how to grow produce so they can sell and help support themselves, give them a meaning in this world that they've lost. Now, as a farm boy, I can grow anything. All I need is a seed. I'm going to pass my knowledge on to my fellow vets. Now, in that, without Mr. Verjoni, I would not have that chance. Without the Devine House,